And welcome to another episode of the Albino RHino beer review of the Rhino.
That was taped.
Yeah, that was taped. Mrs. Rhino's over there. Anyway, today we are drinking a beer from Block 3 Brewing Company in St. Jacobs, Ontario. This beer was picked up for me by the one and only Colgate, and Sensodyne brought it over. This is Snowblind Belgian Pale Ale. They actually use a type of hop in this beer that I've never had before in my life, so I'm really intrigued to get into this. What is it? It is 6.3% alcohol by volume. You know what I love about Block 3? They make some great beers and everything is just so simple. Look at that simple label. Look at that simple label. Look at it. Look at that simple label. You just don't give a shit, do you? No. Just doesn't give a shit. She don't give two shits, guys. So, a very pretty beer. Look at that. Look at that. Nice 2 fingers of head, maybe 2.5. Yeah, about 2.25. Beautiful, beautiful. What would you call it? Is that brass? Does that look like brass to you?
I don't know what brass. Yeah, it looks like brass.
She doesn't know what brass looks like. Okay, so I'm going with a brassy red.
Oh, rust.
A rust? You think rust? Maybe copper. Where's that copper pipe?
Looks like that beam.
Well, that beam is rust. So she's saying rust. I'm thinking more copperish. But yeah, there you go. A little tiny hint of cloudiness to it, but it is still fairly see-through. It's starting to dissipate. Nice little snap, crackle, pop to it. On the nose, well, there's not really all that much on the nose. There's a slight graininess, a slightly odd sweetness that I can't pinpoint, and like a straw scent to it. So kind of smells partially like a sweet pilsner to me. Not the smell I expected whatsoever. But again, I've never had the hop that's in this. I don't know what I'm expecting from it. Somebody's messaging me on the phone. Let's try the beer. Cheers. That is very interesting. Mrs. Rhino, will you come try a sip? I can't bring it to you. I don't want the internet to see the pants I'm wearing. Oh, God. Don't get married. Just drink this beer. Don't drink the
There's
stuff.
no beer. How do I get to the
You don't.
beer?
You just put it up to your lip, and you pour the cup backwards. No, the stuff at the top will stay there. What do you think?
It's not foul, but it's not wonderful.
Okay, so from Mrs. Rhino, it's not foul, but it's not wonderful. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just strange to me. I wouldn't even say foul or wonderful. I'd say it's a good beer. I mean, it's drinkable. I just don't know what I think of it. I don't know what I taste, really. I get that almost wheat-like graininess. It's almost this hop almost reminds me of like a noble hop. It almost comes off grassy, but not even like a mix between a noble and an English, because it's kind of dirty and grassy at the same time. A tiny touch of resin on the back end, but yeah, it's a strange hop. I don't know what it I. No, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a nut brown. That's what it reminds me of. I thought grassy and dirty, but it's dirty in the in that nutty sensation. You know, when you eat like a cashew or something in that, or pistachio, and that little bit of skin is still on, or the peanut when the skin's still on it. Just stuff like that. It has that to it. It has just a dirtiness to it. Dirty nuttiness. It actually does remind me more of a nut brown than anything else. That's an interesting thing, and I'm thinking it's coming all from the hops, because the forefront is basically just a slight graininess, just a neutral graininess, a nice sweetness up at the forefront, and then everything that's coming flavor wise for me is coming from the middle to the end. So it's mostly all hops, and maybe the malts are a little more roasted than usual. But I'm thinking that's mostly the hop. And if a hop makes a beer taste almost like a nut brown, that's amazing. And if my tastes are just completely off for a night, it's completely amazing too to me. Because I can get wrong notes, but I'm not usually so off that it's off the wall. Oh, kind of gassy. Yeah, low carbonation. Medium light body. Taste again, that sweetness up at the forefront. That like nutty dirtiness at the back end, and nothing else really. Well, a little tiny touch of that like grassy Pilsner-esque hoppiness just creeping in at the end. Very, very interesting little beer. Belgian pale ale. I don't get cloves. I don't get banana. I don't get that sweetness. But I mean, that hop taste all mingled together kind of does remind me of a few of the Belgian triples that I've had out there. So I mean, it does have that taste a little bit similar to them, a little bit. Not a bad beer. Not a bad beer. Just not a great beer. I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. I could drink it. It's interesting. I just wouldn't actively search for it. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful night. Try this beer if you can. And yeah, go visit Block 3. It's a beautiful place. And I did find a coaster in the bottom of one of the boxes that was brought to me by them. And it was a cork coaster. It was actually a coaster made out of cork, not the cardboard that most coasters are made out of. It's actually made out of cork. So if you get a chance to get one of those, steal it! Get it in your pocket! Bye, guys.